hear me? Can you send Yulia on my page the link, please? You have to go to her main page. Okay, I'm having him do something, but we're gonna get started, okay? So I'm so excited for all of you here, and I'm ready to start the webinar, and tonight we're gonna cover a lot of different topics. So the main thing is just talking about intuition and how the things that come up in our daily life are from our intuitive thoughts, whether we like it or not. And I want you guys to really get a feel for who I am. So I am going to go through my story again. Those people that have already heard it, I'm sorry you're hearing it again. And the people that are brand new, you can get a feel for who I am and why you should even listen to me, because it takes a lot to start trusting people. And I know for me, that happens to me. I need to trust the person before I learn from them. So I want you to get a feel for where all of this came from. So I'm going to share my screen right now, and I am going to, thanks Mama Char for helping. Yeah, if you have any issues, try refreshing the screen, because sometimes that happens. You might have to log out and then log back in. So let's see, share screen. So start here. Okay, can everyone see this? Hopefully you can see it. There is a couple second delay, so you might not be able to see me, but you can see my screen. I want to make sure that you can see me. Just say yes in the chat so I can see you at the same time. Okay, so this is who you're working with. You're working with me. This is me when I was little. When I was little, I was really into angels, saints, and the Blessed Mother. And I always felt as if I just had this faith. I don't know where it came from. I just felt drawn to the Blessed Mother. And I think I'm still getting messages. Let me make sure. Okay, good. Thank you guys for telling me. So I've been into the Blessed Mother, angels, and when I was really, really little, I used to have these dreams where I thought they were normal, and I would leave my body and fly around and see different things. And I absolutely loved doing it because I felt so free. And when I got older, I found out later that I was having outer body experiences. Now, this happens to a lot of us, actually all of us. We all leave our body when we're sleeping, but we don't always remember it. And it was something that I did regularly as a child. So my mom also would say that when I was little, you'd find me outside on the swings, really, really quiet. But at the same time, she said around the full moon, I would be very, very moody. So she would know if there was a full moon outside. And she'd make a joke and say, uh-oh, there must be a full moon, because I would be grumpy or moody. Another thing that you need to know about me is I grew up in the Boston area, 20 minutes south of Boston, in a Catholic family, a crazy, loud Italian Catholic family that loved meatballs, macaroni, sauce, everything. And that's important for you to know also. And I graduated at the University of Tampa. As I got older, I kind of shifted out of reading about angels and the Blessed Mother and all of that. And I started to get busy with partying and being with friends and socializing. And it's not like I didn't like the Blessed Mother. I just didn't go out of my way to research things about the Blessed Mother. And I had my life at University of Tampa, and I went to college also to study abroad in Australia, in Cairns, Australia. I absolutely love it there. And I went, this is a picture of me when I was in my internship for elementary education. And after I graduated from University of Tampa, I met Nick, and Nick and I, the moment we met, we were brought together. It was like we had known each other forever. And it was something really special about when we would look at each other, we knew there was something more, like we had been in each other's lives in the past. It was something familiar. And after we were together for a little while, that summer was in 2007 in August, he passed away. And this is a picture of him and I before he passed away. Now, Nick and I were really into the law of attraction and manifesting things, and we spoke about spiritual things. And after he passed away, I would say these prayers and I would feel him. The day after he passed, I was sleeping and I woke up and I saw him at the foot of my bed. And that was my second day of teaching third grade, the day that he passed in the motorcycle accident. I saw him at the foot of my bed, and I was just going through the motions of life. I'd get up, go to work, and I would come home and get back into his clothes, into his sweatpants and sweatshirt. And I would just pray and ask him for signs. And I kept on feeling him around me. And he would give me messages through different things. And I'm going to show you some pictures coming up of some of the messages. But he said he wasn't going to be around me for a while, but he'd still be there. He said, you won't see me for a while, but I'm still going to be around you. So as time went on and I was going through the motions and teaching third grade, my little kids, my students were actually bringing me signs too. It was like he was nudging them to do different things and draw different pictures. And then I started to receive these signs, and you can see there are hearts everywhere, everywhere. No matter where I would look, there were hearts. I crack an egg, oh, and there is a heart. Still to this day, this egg was just until recently, actually. Smiley faces, the number 3s, everything. And I said, okay, I'm either going completely crazy or this is all real. And I told him, I said, if this is really happening and I'm really connecting with you and receiving signs, then let me know and let it be confirmed by sending me a psychic medium. And that's exactly what happened. He sent me someone that was a psychic medium, but also a lawyer. And what happened was a friend of mine who is a complete skeptic went out to dinner for a business meeting with this guy named Jason, who was a lawyer and psychic medium. Nick came through Jason and connected and told Jason to tell my friend for me to get up out of bed and to do different things. And my friend didn't believe it. He thought, this is so general. You know, the things that he brought up, maybe they're too general. And the moment Jason started mentioning that I was a teacher and that Nick was coming through and telling him certain things, he started to listen. And the funny thing was, I had just said my prayer either that day or earlier that week. And I decided I needed to be friends with this guy, Jason. I needed to meet him. And then we became friends. And everything was confirmed. Everything that I had been feeling was confirmed. And this is Jason. And we had never met before Nick passed. And we've been friends still because Nick communicated through him and gave him messages to pass on to me. So I started, after he passed and after I went through a series of emotions and continued to do that, I decided I had to start a motorcycle awareness foundation for Nick. I made bumper stickers, and that motorcycle awareness foundation has sort of fizzled out. It's not active anymore, but I felt like at that time I had to do it. I had to use my energy towards something, and that was what I could use my energy towards. Nick and I were supposed to go on a cross-country trip. So my friend and I, one of my best friends, we went from California to Boston, and we did a cross-country trip in 10 days and went all over Vegas, Grand Canyon. We went to Canada. We did everything. And then I went skydiving, and I just made a list of things that I wanted to do before reaching heaven. That was my thing. And I felt as if I couldn't think too far ahead, because if I did, it would be way too overwhelming. So I just made these little things that I would do to keep me on track and to keep me just living in the moment and allowing him to live through me, because that's what he was guiding me to do. So I started to receive these messages, and I decided I needed more information. I was watching Lisa Williams's show, and Lisa Williams had a show called Life Among the Dead, and it was on Lifetime for women, and it was a show that got me through a lot. She channeled messages from loved ones in heaven, And I wanted so badly to connect with Nick. And when I saw her show, it helped me just being in that energy. And because I was receiving messages from him, I felt as if I needed to go towards that direction. I said a prayer to be able to help other people, and that's exactly what was happening. I was giving readings to people out when I was out at a bar or a restaurant or friends of friends and people in different countries, Africa, but I wasn't charging for it. I was just doing it as I was teaching third grade. And I decided I needed to go and take one of Lisa's courses. And Lisa actually, she chose 28 mediums to work with from around the world. And I felt so grateful that I was one of them. And we studied with other mediums and we were all in the same place. And it was amazing. It was so amazing. And what happened was through all of this learning and the changes in my life, I started to realize that my teaching third grade was kind of shifted to the side. I loved the kids, but I was also doing now my readings, and I was getting paid for readings and doing messages from heaven, doing psychic readings and mediumship readings, and one-on-one mentoring with students for intuition. I felt as if the business was getting so busy, my heart was pulling me out of the school system, and now it was time to move on to different things. So as time went on, I was sent my little Tony. And Tony actually was childhood friends with Nick. They knew each other when they were 2 years old. They both grew up in St. Louis. And 4 years after Nick passed away, I got connected with Tony. It was online. I wanted to send him a message about the book that I was writing about myself, the memoir, and Nick's life. And I reached out to Tony to ask him a question. And we met on the phone for the first time, and we knew immediately that we were supposed to be together, and Nick had sent us and brought us together. And Tony's very open to the law of attraction, all of the spiritual stuff, and Nick actually comes through him also. And I'm so lucky. And it's everything that I've done in my life has led me through because of my intuition. It's not something that I normally would do, is have some random person from St. Louis, Missouri come to visit Florida, and we're getting married in May. So it's been an interesting ride, and it's everything lined up in my life has brought me to this point. As I went on, I also have a radio show on Sedona Talk Radio, and I have a prayer from a loved one in heaven in the book 365 Days of Angel Prayers, and it actually was #1 on Amazon, and I'm just so grateful. So before we even say why are we here, I'm going to check in with you. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Okay, can you guys see me okay? I'm going to check the box because I want to make sure you're not just seeing slides the whole time. Karen said, hi, Lindsay, love to see all the pictures. This is so great, my first webinar, Intuition. I'm so happy you're here, Karen. I wanted to tell you my story because I feel like it's so important to hear about me before we even get started, because I want you to know where this is coming from. And this is something that's important to me, and it's powerful in my life. And I want you to know that it's something that can be easy for you to do. And there's been so many great responses from the video series, and I know that this webinar is going to help you a lot. Okay, so making sure everyone's okay. Okay, I'm going to log back on. Perfect. I'm going to log back on to share my screen, and I'm going to start with sharing. And of course, if you guys can, if you have any questions towards the end, I want you to be able to answer. I want to answer them for you. So let's see. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, why are you here? What is the point of you being here? Why are you here today? Are you here because you feel like you want to receive signs for your own life? Are you here because you're feeling like you want to make decisions from your heart and your intuition, and sometimes you feel like it's your imagination, but you know deep down that it's your intuition? Think about why you're here right now. Just take a moment. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about what your belief is on intuition. Okay, what is your belief on intuition? I want you to think about this. This is so important. Everything comes back to belief. If you believe intuition is scary and you believe intuition is something that if you tap too much into it, it can bring a premonition that's not good, then you're going to create this fear in your mind that, ooh, I'm afraid. I'm not going to be as open to the intuition because I don't want to see too much. And I want you to get clear on this, okay? And I want you to know that it's not scary and we can actually see things in a beautiful way instead of getting stuck on the stories of, oh my gosh, I had this horrible dream and I feel as if this is going to happen. Or when I was little, I used to have premonitions and they weren't good dreams. Yes, that probably is true previously. And it's important to know, though, that when we're fearing things from coming back and we want to close it down, it's natural for us to pull from the things that would be fearful or the things that couldn't be so positive. But I'm going to teach you a way to actually bring it out. And I love how Karen mentioned, she said that I want to bring it back as it once was my earlier years. And Yolanda mentioned I'd like to make intuition a part of my everyday life. And same with Mama Char and Kristen and Kimberly. And I'm going to help you do that. Okay. So I'm going to make you see it. And now intuition, I always compare it like this. It's like riding a bike. All right. Intuition, if you have it when you're little, first of all, we're born with it. If you have it when you're little, automatically you can open it back up in 2 seconds. It's all about your intention. If you've never noticed it, just know that it's still available to you. Okay. So I'm going to teach you. So we're going to do an energy exercise. I'm going to share this screen and so you can see me. So let's do this together. Wherever you are, even if you look like a crazy person, I want you to do it. This is going to help your belief. So you're going to take your hands, you're going to rub them together like this, and imagine all of your energy within your hands. You're going to slowly pull your hands out and you're going to bounce the energy in your hand. Okay? So bounce it in your hand. You might feel, actually, I don't want to tell you what you're going to feel. I'm going to give you a second to do this. Bouncing the energy. If you don't feel anything, rub your hands again. Slowly pull it apart and put them together. Now you've had time to do it, so I'm going to tell you what you could possibly feel. You may feel as if, okay, Marissa, you're using your phone. Just rub your hands together and pull them apart slowly. And push your hands together and pull it apart. You may feel magnetic feeling. You may feel heat, some sort of warmth, tingling, cold air, whatever it is. You could feel almost like a pressure. Like you can't see anything in here, but you can actually feel it, right? If you can feel it, say yes in the chat. Or say yes out loud. The reason why I'm doing this energy exercise, now this isn't just for me. People do this all the time. It's not just for me. When I give Reiki to clients energy healing, I rub my hands together and I put the energy on them. Even me doing this to you, it's sending you energy. Sometimes when I feel overwhelmed, I'll put my hands on my heart and I could feel the heat coming from my hands, okay? So the reason why I'm telling you to do this is because even though we can't see this energy, this ball of energy in our hands, we can still feel it. And if you can't feel it, try it again. Don't stop until you feel it because I want you to get to that point. And don't get frustrated. Just know that it's available to you, okay? Isn't it crazy? I can hear everyone say, yes, yes, yes. Okay, awesome. So just so you know, you can't see that, right? It's still there though. So intuition, you might not be able to see all the time, but the energy is still there. Karen said, it feels like a rubber band pulling back and forth, which I do in my Tai Chi class. Yes. Similar to Reiki, just like the wind. Yeah, it's very subtle. Exactly. Yay. Okay, you guys got it. So you did that. Now, did that change some of your beliefs? I don't know. Maybe you already had the belief that you could move energy or you had energy within you. But I want you to be feeling this, okay? Because I'm all about tangible stuff. Okay, now we are going to go back. And I'm going to show you some slides. And We're going to talk about intuition. Okay, so the reasons why you could use your intuition when you do use your intuition is for decision making, just daily routines in general, survival skills, and as your compass. So it's so important to know that even if you feel like you're drawn to a certain color food in the grocery store, pay attention to that. Sometimes I'll walk into the grocery store and I won't even thinking I'm going in to get carrots, but I'm drawn to something orange. I feel as if I need to eat something orange. Sounds completely wacky, but it makes complete sense. So we got to pay attention to these things. Sometimes we might be making decisions about our business or a job, thinking, should I stay in this job? Should I go out full force in my business? Should I do this or do that? Should I stay in this relationship? Should I leave? Should I change location? Should I stay here? There's so many things that we start getting in our head about and we get overwhelmed. And I want to teach you how to be able to calmly get the answers and not feel like you have to go to a psychic every single week. Now, of course, I love what I do, but I don't want you to feel as if you have to come for a reading every single month, because my rule is you can't come to me for another 3 to 6 months after the first reading. Okay? Because I just feel like you need time to grow on your own and really just kind of go through the motions of life, and then you can come back, because I feel like morally it's not right. And I was taught that. Lisa Williams mentioned 6 months to a year or around there. So I'm a full believer in that. Okay, spot the obvious. So this is so important. You know it's real because you feel it. So you knew in your hands when you felt that energy, something was happening. You knew it was real, right? So what I want you to know is there's so many things around you right now. I want you to take a moment to look around your room, the room that you're in. Just take a moment, scan the room, and I want you to pay attention to where your eyes are gazed, where you gazed your eyes first, okay? Where are you looking first? What's magnified to you, okay? What stands out to you? It could be anything. It could be a light switch, a picture, a mirror, whatever. Choose that. Don't second guess it. What pops out? It could be something that makes no sense to you. Now, when you look at that thing that you're staring at, that one thing that you're staring at, or maybe even there's two, what's the first thing that it makes you think of right in this moment? So for example, I'm looking at lights. I have lights to the right of me. The lights have been sitting there whole time, but for some reason, my whole gaze it's like magnified to this light. Immediately when I look at the light in this moment, I think, okay, we all need to shine our lights. This message is for my group and it's for me to not be afraid to shine your light. Okay, so that's a little mini message. I use the room to give me a message. So this is what I taught during the week of the video series, is to take things around you, whether it's signs on the road, license plates, anything that you're being nudged to pay attention to, and just observe it the first week I told them to do. And some of you were in it. And then after, when I sent in the second videos, I said, try to interpret what that means. Just a quick message, just quick, okay? So distractions can get in the way. This is huge. Technology, Facebook, that's me. I'm constantly on Facebook. It's so easy to get wrapped up in Facebook or social media, and you find yourself looking at the clock and the day has been gone. Sometimes it's really difficult to receive signs when we're on the computer and we don't allow our brain to sort of shut down. So I'm going to show you something. Okay, I can do this because I can definitely do this. I created this graph because this can be me at sometimes. So your reality, you are in this circle, this big circle. Technology is my life. I have to get this done. I have to search for solution and I don't want to make the wrong decision, okay? That's in your mind, your reality. Now, I know I can't speak for everyone, but some people, including myself, that's our reality. I have to get this done. There's always a rush to do something. Oh, I'm afraid that I'm going to make the wrong decision. Now, I created another graph, and this is the real reality. So this is you. Things are always flowing towards you. Signs are always coming, and there's always patterns that are coming up. If you think back to a moment in your life, anything, it could be anything. Let me think of an example for myself. Okay, usually it's before I go on a trip. So, no, actually, no, I'm going to use the teaching example. When I was teaching third grade, I knew in my heart that it was time that my last year was coming to an end. I knew it. I knew it was time to leave. So I asked for signs and I started to see butterflies everywhere. I saw a lot of rainbows. I saw butterflies. I saw everything else. And there was different patterns even before I asked for the intention of things that were leading up to the point of me leaving. Now looking back, I'm like, oh, I actually was having a conversation with this person and they mentioned something similar. And you start to look at the patterns and it leads you to the place that you're at right now. And it's so clear when after you see the patterns and the signs along the way, okay? If you're confused with that, I'm going to show you something. So I want you to be aware, just by listening to this webinar, change is about to take place. So you can have to prepare, be open, and allow. Those are the big things. That means no second guessing yourself after this webinar. If you see something, I don't want you to go around and say, well, maybe it's my imagination. Maybe I'm just reaching, okay? Just stay open for this week, the next week or so. So people come to me all the time and they're so afraid that they're making the wrong choice, okay? They come to me and they think, well, what if I get married and it's the wrong decision? I had someone come to me the other day. She was married for a long time and she was having a rough time with her marriage. And she mentioned that she was afraid that she made the wrong choice and she wasted her years. And I said to her, no, there's no wrong choice. And I'm going to actually show you one of the things that came up in a reading a couple of years ago. So this is a picture that I put up here. Pretend this is your car, fancy blue car. You're going down the road, but before you leave, you wrote, you typed in your GPS, you had to go to a final destination. You were going to a restaurant with your friend. So you drive in the car and all of a sudden your GPS, is bringing you to the final destination. You come across a detour. And then you have to go around the detour. Well, your GPS automatically links up to this, okay? It still gets you to your final destination. There's no wrong way that you can go. You still get there. It might take a couple of extra minutes, but you are still there. That's exactly how it is for us. If we make a decision in our life, whether it's take a job, leave a job, get in a relationship, get out of a relationship, if that's what's going to happen, we are going to automatically be in the right situation in the end. The final destination is still there. It might take a little bit longer. You might see some different signs along the way, but you are still going to end up at the final destination, okay? So I'm going to stop sharing for a second. So how do you feel about that? Thinking about that, doesn't it make you a little less scared to make decisions in your life? If you know that you can't make a wrong decision and you're driving down the road of life and you still see signs and patterns along the way, you have nothing to fear. There's no wrong decision. So when we get in a fear-based mindset, it closes things in on us and we start to get anxious and it just doesn't feel right. And I can say this because it's happened to me before. And I know the difference when I'm in the flow of things and then when I'm thinking fearful thoughts. And of course, I'm not telling you to fake it and pretend that you don't feel those thoughts. You should feel them. But I am saying it's important to be aware that we can easily go through life and not worry so much. Okay. So I'm just going to make sure everyone's okay in here. Okay. So I'm going to show you the next couple of slides. And let's see. So we can't make a wrong decision. It's time to notice what's already in front of your face. So we did that exercise where we looked around the room and spotted something, okay? So the next time you're in your car, I don't want you taking pictures while you're driving, but next time you're in the car, pay attention. Set an intention before you go out for the day or for the week, and just see what pops up. What are you nudged to pay attention to? Karen wrote, if I'm traveling in an unknown place and I feel I'm lost, all of a sudden I see a sign of some sort that tells me I'm heading the right direction. Yeah, that does happen sometimes. Now, when coming to directions, oh my gosh, if you ask anyone that I know, they would say you have no sense of direction. So I need to use my intuition more for my actual directions in the car. But that's awesome, Karen, that happens to you. Because usually if we pay attention, we're not in a fear-based mode, then we could get really clear on getting it the right way, getting the right direction. So that's awesome. And Marissa said, for me, I use letters and symbols to create my own language to interpret better. Yes. Oh, I love this. Okay, there's so many people's to read. But you need to get there first. So you have to get your mind right. You need to do this by taking a step back from technology. And then also, I'm a big believer in meditation, but I can't sit still. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Sometimes I can. But I would rather do a walking meditation or even folding towels, not shirts, but towels. I don't mind folding towels, but things that actually, you know, you're moving your body or going on the swing set, going on a trampoline, just different things, exercising, painting. All these things are ways to get your mind clear. Drawing, like even if you're doodling or something, you have to get your mind clear. And you don't force things when it comes to intuition. You don't start searching for hearts. It pops up to you. You're nudged to pay attention to it when you least expect it, okay? So why perception can make or break clarity. I'm going to talk about this. Oh my gosh. So this picture, I can't even handle this dress. So I'm curious to know, actually, in this group, I don't even know if we should start this debate in the group, but what color do you see? So for me, I see gold and white. And it's so clear it's gold and white to me, so clear. Now, I've had other people tell me that it's blue and black. My sister sent me a message the other day and texted me and said, what color is this dress? And I was so confused because it was so obvious to me. It wasn't like, is it black and dark green? It was like, what color is this dress? And it's white and gold. It's right in front of me, so I was confused. If you haven't seen this on Tumblr or on Google, you should Google this dress after the webinar because there's a huge debate. But the point of me bringing up this dress as a perfect example is because perception is everything. Okay, Erin says she sees black and blue. I see blue and black, white and gold. I see a mixture of people, white and gold, blue and black. I see gold and white, but I know for a fact the actual dress is blue and black. Yeah, I found that out too, blue and white. Okay, see, there's so many different perceptions of what this is, gold and white. Okay, perfect, I love it. So this dress that we've seen that's all over the internet, supposedly the dress, I've heard different things. Maybe the reflection of our eye and the way the light hits, it causes us to see it a different way. Well, for me, I see hearts and threes and smiley faces everywhere. I'm just nudged to pay attention to it. Someone else might see something different, but the point is I'm seeing all these beautiful things in the world. Some people, I'm not saying I don't see bad things, but I focus on the things that I like, and I'm tuning into them. So I'm saying this because perception really, it can be in your own mindset. And the point of this webinar and my intuition teaching is all about allowing you to putting it out into your mind that you can actually see things. You can see beautiful things. So this is an apple. An apple is an apple, but what does it mean to you? To me, when I see an apple, I immediately think of me being a teacher and how the kids used to bring me apples. So I think when I see an apple during a reading, I think of teacher. When I get the word apple and I tell the person I see an image of an apple in my mind, I say, would I be correct in saying the person that passed away was a teacher? Or would I be correct in saying that you are a teacher? Or another option that could come up to me is you need to eat healthier, okay? But when you see this apple, what does it make you think of? Do you think of your grandfather's backyard that sold apples? Think about that, okay? So we're gonna keep on going. And, okay, now it's all about perception. So I'm gonna show you something. The object I show you may not have the same meaning to you. So I'm gonna show you. Okay, so this pencil right here, when I see this pencil, actually, tell me what you think about this pencil. What does it mean to you when you see a pencil? It's probably not something that you thought of before, but in this moment, don't think too much, don't overanalyze it. In this moment, what does this make you think of? Quick. Think about it. Say it out loud if you have to. Type it if you have to. Whatever you gotta do, I want you to stay engaged. Okay, so this pencil to me, when I see a pencil in my mind during a reading, an image, because that's what happens to me, or I hear the word pencil in my mind, automatically I will think of a person that likes numbers, does accounting, or actually sketches things out, like an architecture of some sort. It's just something. It's an intention that it came up during one reading, and ever since then, whenever I see the pencil, it has the same 3 meanings, okay? So there's a reason for it. Now, perception is key because, okay, perfect. Art, writing, school, need to write. Awesome. I love this. Drawing, sketching. So you guys all have different perceptions. Mechanical, perfect, awesome. Do you see how fast you thought of that? You didn't really think too much into it. Teacher one's awesome. Shannon said, I use the same teacher when spirit shows me an apple. Perfect. So this pencil right here is something to me in one way and then to you in another way. I saw a ladder during a reading one time. I had a grandfather that was with me that had passed away, and I was giving a reading, and he kept on showing me an image of a ladder. Immediately when I saw it, I thought of someone working on a ladder as a job. So I said to the girl in front of me, I said, would I be correct in saying that your grandfather worked on a ladder? And she said, no. So I said, this is weird. Why am I seeing this ladder? So I said, we'll keep that to the side. If it comes up again, I'll let you know. Well, he kept on showing me the ladder, kept on bringing it up. She couldn't connect to it. So I asked him for more information in my mind, and all of a sudden I felt my chest caving in, and I saw the ladder. So I told her. She said, oh, that's actually how he passed away. He fell off of a ladder onto his chest. Now, she said no completely. Her perception of what I had said was, I wasn't right, because I said, did he work on a ladder? And that would make sense. During readings that happen, so sometimes symbolism for things that we see, to one person they might mean something else, to another they might mean something totally opposite, okay? And we're going to talk about this in the dream section because this is big for the dream. We'll get to that too. Okay, so I'm going to put you back on the slides. And let's see. Okay, so it's all about the perception. Numbers. I love this topic. I get asked this all the time. Numbers, what do they mean? The number 333 always comes up on the radio. I'm going to make this story pretty quick. I have an obsession with threes. Nick knew it when he was alive, and each time it was 333 on the clock, he'd call me up if we weren't together and say it's 333. After he passed away, I was coming out of teaching 3rd grade. It was the end of the day. I started to think of him and felt really sad because I just missed him. And I got into my car and imagined him opening the door for me and wished that he was still there. Went, sat down, radio was on, of course, when I got in there. And all of a sudden, my radio started to go up and then down and up again. And the volume kept going back and forth. And he had this thing where he had to have the number on an even volume number. He just had to do that. And he would always bring it up, down, and up again to even. This time, I see the volume turning up, and with my own eyes, the numbers going up and down, and it went up to the volume number 33. A song that was meaningful to me and him came on, and I look at the clock, and it's 333. Now, I had goosebumps. You may have goosebumps right now, but when it happened, I knew. I knew that something was happening. I knew it wasn't just a mechanical thing in the car. Why I'm saying this is because some numbers mean different things to some people. 333 to me is everything's on the right track. Everything's exactly how it should be. I just have this feeling of abundance and I just know everything's okay. 333 to another person might mean something else. So it's important that we write down what patterns come up when we see numbers. Some people message me and say, I always see 1111. I wake up at this time all the time. So the next time that happens, write it down, write the date, write the number, and ask yourself, okay, what patterns, and don't get stuck on it, just write it down. And then after a week goes by, maybe something happened after that. Maybe you got a job promotion, maybe you got good news, and start to correlate the numbers on almost like, not a warning, but like a clue. It's an intuition clue to lead you to that final thing that's about to happen. There's a girl on Facebook. I called her the other day, the deer girl. I love her. She was in the video series and she posted a video of a deer, and she said before she even saw the deer, she was nudged to pay attention to 411, like information. And then all of a sudden she started driving soon after, and she saw the deer. So it was almost like she was getting the nudge that something was going to come. She was paying attention to that number, and she knew something was going to come, and all of a sudden the deer happened. Maybe she didn't know it in the first place why the 411 was coming up, but she found out soon after. And it's not like she was searching for it either. It just popped up. Okay, so our job is to actually create an intention. So you can do this if it's a job or a relationship, whatever it is. You can actually say a little intention prayer in your mind, or you can write it down. I feel like writing has huge amounts of energy, so writing is important. And just write it down and allow everything else to unfold. I'm not saying sit on your couch and wait for signs to pop up. I'm just saying live your life and stop searching for the answers. You set the intention, you do what you need to do, and then if it pops up, and it's an added bonus, and you write it down. Write it down in a journal or some sort of little intuition journal. So I wrote this up, and it says, until next time, perception is the key, because I gave out a worksheet for perception is the key. And I told people if they spotted different things to make sure that they know to tag me in the photos that they see. So I want you to do this. So you're going to unlock your intuition. You can tag unlock your intuition, and we're going to talk about the next slide. So we're going to get clear on setting your intention and writing it down. So you can do this. You can set your intention and write it down and see what comes from it. So real life and dream-like state of mind. This is so important. Okay, so we know that in real life, we can get signs, right? When we're going down the road and we spot license plates, or we're nudged to look in our house in a certain spot. But we also can get this in a dreamlike state too. And dreamlike state could be when you're actually in a dream, or it can be when we wake up and we get a sign. Okay, and okay, let's see. And Sandy just joined us. Sandy, it's okay because this is a pre-recorded show, so you can see it for the next 72 hours. So the real life and dreamlike state. So just know that when this comes up, when you're dreaming, you can receive messages too. I always have this thing where if I have a question or a problem, before I go to bed, I'll just say a little intention prayer, and when I wake up, I get the answer. Okay, because our body actually, our physical body's there, but our soul leaves in the middle of the night. Our soul actually leaves our body. I know it sounds completely weird, but it does. It leaves our body, we float around, we get the answers that we need, and whether we float to different realms, whatever you believe, I've done it before, I know exactly what happens, and it's really interesting, but try that. Whenever they say sleep on it, there's a reason for it. So the next time you have some sort of issue, definitely set an intention, go to sleep. You may wake up with the answer, or you may even have a dream about it, okay? So example of a decision making, should I stay or should I go? So decision making, with Lisa Williams's course, I was supposed to leave after 5 days. I think it was a 5-day course. She had an extended part of the course in the weekend. Okay, so with that, she actually, she had some people stay, and I had some people there saying, you are supposed to be here, Lindsay. Of course, there's all psychic mediums in the class. They say, you're supposed to be here. And I had a group party scheduled. I never cancel group parties. But for some reason, I kept on going back and forth, like my heart wanted to be there. So a friend of mine said, Lindsay, why don't you just ask for a sign? And I thought, oh my gosh, I always do this. But in my mindset, I was so emotionally invested in the answer that I couldn't see clearly. Okay, so I did ask for a sign, and she said, and name the time that you want the sign by. If you're supposed to stay, then do that. So I did. In my mind, I said, I want to see a butterfly. If I see a butterfly, then by 5 o'clock tonight, then I'm staying. Well, the same girl that told me to do that minutes later without her even knowing, she turned around in class and she looks at my journal, which had butterflies everywhere, and she's like, oh, I love this journal. I love butterflies. And she moves her hair back, and on her neck, she points to her neck. She's like, see, I love butterflies. And this whole time we were in class together, she not once said anything about my journal that had butterflies on it, and didn't tell me about her tattoo that she had on her neck. And I said, you don't even understand what you just did for me. You just answered my sign without even knowing it. And it was just in conversation. So I kind of let the intention go and it happened, okay? So I love this. Karen actually, or Kristen mentioned, what does an intention prayer look and sound like? That's a good question. So an intention prayer just can be something as little as, allow me to see clearly what I should do for my job, or please send me signs. Please send me the sign of flowers to let me know that I should be going to Florida, you know, or something like that. It could be so simple. It's just the energy of you writing and putting the tension down, okay? And don't go searching for it either. Just have it pop up. Okay, and Karen said, I used to get vivid dreams all the time, some frightening and others great. Yes, and we're going to talk about that too. Cruise control and autopilot. So it's so important that when you're receiving these messages and these signs, you may not even be aware that it's going to happen. I always give the example when I'm blow drying my hair, that's exactly when intuitive thoughts pop in my mind, okay? Now, I want to tell you something. This is important, so I'm going to actually share the screen so you can see me. Okay, hope you guys can see me. Let's see. Okay, good. This is important. You need to know that your intuition is not this loud voice blaring at you. Sometimes that can happen, okay? Not all the time. Most of the time for me, when I give readings, it's so subtle. It's like this quick image that seriously is a half a second. I might see an apple really quick, or I might see the word banana, or I might hear the words in my ear, intuitive hearing, okay? There's been times where I've woken up and I've actually physically heard things, and I sometimes see spots or, you know, like little lights and different things like that. But that's not something that you have to feel like you have to get right away, because as an intuitive myself, it's so important when I teach people and mentor my students that you know that intuition is so subtle. And I posted a video about Oprah the other day. It's like a whisper. It's so soft and it just nudges you. When you don't get it the first time, everything, whether you call it universe, God, whatever it is, your loved ones that have passed, they will make you get it somehow. Okay, so it might be a little whisper, a little nudge along the way, and then when you don't get it, you get whacked upside the head and you're told, okay, wait a second, you need to stop what you're doing and do it this way. Okay, so just know that it's so subtle, and don't put so much pressure on yourself to feel all these loud things, because it's not like that. Okay, and sometimes we can easily mistake our own voice for our intuitive thoughts. When we're thinking and we're invested in the emotion of it, yeah, your thoughts are there. When you completely go on autopilot and cruise control and you're driving down the road, not even thinking about your problem, and an aha moment pops up, then that's your intuition, okay? So know that. I want you guys to always remember that. Okay, let's see. We're gonna share back. And then of course, I'm gonna give you guys time to ask your questions too. Okay. So dreams have patterns, write them down. I am a full believer in writing down your dreams. If you have a dream and you go to a friend, what does this mean to you? What does this mean? Usually the friend might give you an answer, but it might not be correct because you know your own self. Maybe if you go to a psychic, they'd know what it means because they're so used to using their intuition. We all can use it, but just some people don't know that. Like perception, if one person sees a bridge, it might mean they're getting to the other side. To another person, it might mean that you have to go under the water to, you know, get underneath the bridge and go on a boat, you know? So you need to make sure that these dreams that you have, there may be patterns. I've had some people message me recently during this intuition course, and they said, oh my gosh, I had the craziest dreams. Some of them had amazing, vivid dreams. And then one other person said, I had a fear dream, a fear that came up in her mind. It came to fruition in her dream. And immediately, intuitively, I felt as though that fear dream was actually releasing things from her subconscious mind. So don't get scared about that. Fear dreams are good, okay? If you have a dream, does not mean it's a premonition. It doesn't always mean that. It can mean something that's in the back of your mind I used to have dreams over and over again after Nick passed that he was still alive and he was lost and I couldn't find him. Okay, that's just one of the dreams. Of course, he wasn't lost, he was fine. And, you know, it's just, I've had more than just that kind of dream. There's been so many dreams, but it's clearing. So it's really, really good. Okay, so we're going to switch to the next one because I'm going to give you the perception is key. Okay, now I'm going to sign off here, and you're going to know that tonight, or tomorrow actually, because I'm going to send the replay to you, you're going to get this webinar. And I'm going to also send you perception is key homework assignment, and before you start tapping into your intuition checklist, okay? And if you spot things around the next week or two, I want you to tag me and say, unlock your intuition, hashtag unlock your intuition, and tag Lindsay Marino on Facebook or on social media. Okay, now let me exit out of here. And I know some people are asking questions. Okay, you got a lot of information. I'm hoping that this information is really helping you, because I know this webinar is going through it in like a speedy way compared to the video series where I was handing them out every couple of days. But there's a lot of great information in here that I've used for my own self over the years. And I've gotten some amazing feedback on Facebook. Now, I'm going to try to pull it up. Let me just make sure. Okay. And don't worry about Twitter, Karen. I know you mentioned Twitter. You can use whatever you want if you want to tag me in something. Okay, so I'm going to open up this link to show you, because I want to share with you something that I've been working on. Okay. Okay, share the screen. Here we go. I'm going to try to go slow before I answer the questions, okay? I want to show you something that I've been working on, because so many people have gotten so many amazing things happening to them just with the intuition series, the free series. I feel so grateful that I actually was able to put everything that I've learned over the years into one spot, okay? So let me pull this up. I'm praying that you can see this. I'm hoping you can see it. Okay, so if you go on my website, I went to lindsaymarino.com, I'm showing you my e-course, okay? Just for the people that have been wondering about it, they wanna know more information, because right now the cart is open. So I wanna show it to you before I even go into question and answer. So you can click over here, or you can click over here on e-course. You click, and it's called Unlock Your Intuition. It's a course created for your life, business, and relationships. And what it is it's a course all about really going deeper into your intuition, okay? Now, I'm gonna try to do this slow because I know there's a little bit of a time delay. And I'm not gonna go through every single detail, but I want to show you a little bit about the page so you're familiar with it if you have any questions while you're on here. If you ever feel like you're overthinking stuff and you wonder if it's a sign or if you're making it all up, or you feel like you're going crazy, this is something for you to think about. So what if instead of calling your friends or paying for psychics every week, you could actually make your own decisions and feel completely confident, okay? So this course, you're going to be learning from me. You guys know all about me. I want you to feel more emotional freedom, more accomplishments, better business decisions, and excellent communication and relationships. I want you to feel like you can actually come to someone to ask questions to. So I created this course, okay? So I want you to imagine, close your eyes if you want, that you are communicating from your heart always, and it's exactly what you need. And you always feel the right things. You always feel from your heart. You get signs and you know that they're real, and you know that you're not making it up. And you actually have a spot where you can reach out to people. You have a community. And instead of second guessing everything in your life, you actually can make a decision and have things prosper and feel abundant. So I'm just sharing this with you because I feel like it's important, and it's not to brag about the testimonials, but it's to get you to know exactly who I am and what I do. So I have some testimonials on here from people that have gotten readings from me. And Serena Dyer, Wayne Dyer's daughter, author of Don't Die With Your Music Still in You, she wrote a testimonial for having a reading with me. And she mentioned that it was spot on. And this is because I'm trusting my intuition and not second guessing it. Okay. And also Susan Ferrero, she talked about how she was having some resistance with her biz. And this was a couple of years ago. And her business has blossomed like crazy. And then Sigrun is also, she's a business coach. And I kept seeing huge successes for her. And she didn't see it at that moment. But the reason why I'm mentioning this is because with this course that I do, I want you to feel this within your soul. Okay, I want you to feel comfortable, and I want you to feel like you know the answers for yourself. And I worked with Christine on one-on-one mentoring, and she wrote a testimonial about the experience. And I'm not going to go into every single testimonial, okay? But I will say that there is a bunch of people on here that have had experiences with me, and I want you to know that I'm here for you and I want to help you. And I created this course because I want you to feel powerful in every area of your life. So I'm going to just quickly just take 5 minutes to go through this. So just bear with me because I want to answer your questions too. I'm going to have something set up. It's sort of going to look like what you're seeing right now, but in a different way. There's going to be a special membership site for you where you have a private login, and you will have videos every day. So you're going to have a video, each video you'll be able to log in and see it 5 days a week, each new video. And the first week is all about belief and the power of belief in intuition and really reflecting on that. And you'd get a guided meditation on belief to really get your mind to be trained. And I'm a big believer in not overdoing things with a long meditation. So it's not something that's too lengthy. It's something that you can fall asleep to or listen to. And also I'm going to teach you the energy exercise for shifting your belief, and make a little, I have a little life balance graph for you to get clear on what you're putting your energy into and what the belief is. I'm also going to do group calls. It's going to be a 40-minute call once a week. Okay. So the first week you're going to get that. And then the second week is all about intuitive awareness. You're going to get more videos, and you're going to be able to go into the Facebook community. It's just a community for the people that sign up for this course. And you're going to be able to feel like you can talk to other people and share your experience there. And we're going to do a lot of awareness exercises where I'm going to teach you how to go even deeper. If you guys have been in my course already, the free series, I've had these crazy results from people. You're going to see even more results with this course. It's even deeper than what you've already seen. Awareness of numbers and how to get the meaning to numbers for yourself. Awareness of certain objects. Awareness of your heart. A guided meditation on increasing your vibration. And then this one's huge, intention and perception of intuition. And you're going to get more videos, and you're going to learn how to uncover the signs and dreams and really create expectations, because I think boundaries is such a huge thing for most of us, probably everyone on this webinar. You start to think about what you could possibly do that would make you feel less drained, okay? And then I'm going to teach you how to do automatic writing for yourself to get messages from yourself. And we're going to do a fun little exercise for almost like a ceremony that you're going to do by yourself, but you can share if you want to. And of course, you'll get the unconditional love meditation, and you'll be able to have that group call. And this one is all about intuitive reflection and action. And you're going to learn the secrets and how to bring abundance into your life using intuition, okay? And you're going to compare how you were at the beginning, the first week, and how you were at the end. So you're going to have your own private login again, and you're going to have that guided meditation. So I want you to think about if something like this, if you had something like this, let me stop sharing the screen. If you had something like this, what would it feel like to you? Okay. what would it feel like in your mind? What would affect in your life for your relationships to feel so clear, to feel a way of feeling like you had the answers within your heart? You didn't have to second guess yourself. You didn't feel like you were making stuff up. You didn't feel like you were alone and you were hiding this feeling of knowing, but you didn't know who to share it with. You didn't want to share it with just anyone because you didn't know how they would react. What if you had a feeling with everything in your life, you didn't feel exhausted and you actually felt excited? So I was talking with my business friends and we were talking about the course and they kept saying, you have to charge $2,000. And I kept on saying, I need to feel right about this. So I kept on going back and forth. And I know the course is worth so much more because it's changed so many people's lives already with the free series. And I have some testimonials. I'll have to share them with you if I can find them back here. And crazy experiences has happened just in the past week with the people doing the free series. I know how life-changing the 4-week course is because everything that I put into this, the energy that I put in there and every single detail of the meditations, the exercise intuition, everything is so strong. I fully believe in it that I would not put it out if it wasn't as good as it was. I can't put it into words. I hope you feel my energy right now. But I'm so excited about it. So I said, okay, right now, I'm not going to do 2,000. And I ended up deciding that it would be $9.99. But I want you to really think about this because I'm offering something just for tonight, at least in my mind, that's what's happening, till midnight. And I want you to get ready for this so that you're aware, okay? Because I'm going to do something. I first want to show you, let me show you the sales page so you at least know what it looks like. And then I'm going to tell you something that I'm going to be offering free readings to people. And I'll tell you details in a second. So let me just go down here. All right. So let's go down here. So I'm going to go down. These are question and answers. By the way, this class starts March 23rd, but you can go at your own pace. You don't need to do it with us. It's a self-study program, but you can be involved in the weeks by going and, going through the program and working with people on the Facebook group. You can share your homework or whatever you want to do, whatever feels comfortable, and ask questions in the Facebook group, but you can do it at your own pace. So right here, I click on, I want to unlock my intuition. So this is the page. And right here, there's 16 days till the cart's open. You can choose different options. You can pay all at once, you can pay 3 payments of $379, or you can pay 4 payments of $284, because I feel like with me, if this was me 4 years ago, I would want options, okay? So I want you, I'm gonna actually put the link here, and let me see, I have stuff everywhere. I wanted to open this. Okay, this is from Karen. I don't know if you can, I'm praying you can see this. There's so many different buttons. Probably not. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to read it. Karen wrote, this is from a Facebook message. Karen wrote, I'm looking forward to webinar on Thursday. By the way, the intention I asked for came with a positive answer. As I had mentioned, I forgot to mention that as my intention was affirmed, I also had the brief scent of roses, and I thanked my mom for her help. So she had said an intention prayer, and she got the answer. Let's see. This is from Alex Beeden. She mentioned that the exercises, I can't wait to do the exercises to see what I come up with. This is such a remarkable story. And she talked about how she had an amazing experience because of, she said she booked a lunch date with me, and immediately after meeting me, she was an angel in disguise amidst the peaceful, loving vibration. This feels funny reading about myself, but I'm trying to get you to the point of her talking about how her life has changed. So I'm even more grateful for this woman because she has taught me the existence and power of intuition. Learning about my intuition through Lindsay has been such a blessing, and I found myself in a place where I can feel as though I'm in constant communication, and I dare say flirtation with life. Most surprising of all, I've learned that I've always been incredibly intuitive, and I didn't even know it. So she said she felt lighter. I wanted to show you one more, but I'm going to stop there because I know that it's kind of getting to be, late, and I want to make sure that I answer your questions. So anyways, if you are interested in this course, I'm going to put the pop-in here. Let me put the link. Pop-in offer, display offer. Okay, perfect. So I put it up. I'm going to tell you, ready? Because this is a delay. The first 3 people to sign up for this course tonight will get a free reading with me, a free 30-minute reading with me. And then they also will get the intuition and manifesting bonus that I did with Susan Ferrero. It's a webinar that has amazing information about manifesting things in your life, okay? It is amazing. We put it out a couple months ago. We had huge responses, and I'm adding that to tonight's offer. If you book before midnight, then you get the e-course. You sign up for the e-course, and then you get the manifesting and intuition bonus with me and Susan. And the first 3 people that sign up are going to get a free reading with me. Okay, so go. So you're timed. But no, that's a lot of pressure. But I'm putting it out there because I wanted to do something for you being on this webinar. Okay, now I want to answer your questions. I know it's 8:11, so it's been an hour and 11 minutes, and I value your time. I want to answer your questions, anything that you have about the e-course, about this e-course. I'm so excited for you, you don't even understand. This is something that's been in my heart, and finally it's out into the world, and I'm so ready, and I'm so excited to be going on this journey with hopefully you. And let's see. I want to answer any questions you have about intuition or the e-course. Okay, Joanne writes, thank you, Lindsay. You are beautiful and have given lovely information. Thank you, Joanne. Nardalise, yes, I always second guess my intuition. I hate when I do that. Okay, so I could definitely use the things that I've told you already, and so much more, so much deeper. We only touched the surface of how much more I have to give to you. Okay, Melissa. Oh, Melissa. Okay, I was going to share the deer video, but I did share it with you guys. I told you about the deer video. Melissa mentioned that. Okay, let's see. Karen said, I also see butterflies and feel them as spirits. Yeah, sometimes you're nudged to pay attention to butterflies and things. Oh, Sandy. She said, I just want to blow love bubbles to you, Lindsay, for giving birth to such a beautiful baby. Oh, she's so cute. Okay, I think this is the Sandy that I think it is. I sent out an email to my mailing list, which you may be on already, and I titled it, I birthed a baby, or whatever it was, March 1st. And my baby is the e-course, because this is my baby. This is my heart. So I absolutely love it. It's my baby. So if you have any questions about it, please let me know. Anything. Thanks, Sandy. Karen said 33 comes here. Let's see. What else do we have? Any more questions? Karen said, I also see that 111 numbers and ask my intention, and I hope to get my answer. Okay, good. Hi, Sandy. I knew it was you. Okay, let's see. Kristen said, can you attach meaning to a specific object as a sign? I think white Jeep Wranglers are good luck, and I always feel good when I see them. Or does it have to be something that pops up regularly, naturally? That's a great question. No. If you have that as a pattern that comes into your life, whenever you see the white Jeep Wrangler to you, yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what we go deeper into in the e-course too. We talked about objects and how it goes deeper in there. And yes, that's definitely part of it. Karen asked, does restful sleep help with your intuition? I feel like it. As you noticed before, I've been drinking water the whole entire time I've been doing this, because when I'm teaching or doing energy work, water and sleep is huge, huge. And if you wake up in the middle of the night, it's so important to write whatever comes to you, because there's a reason why you're nudged to pay attention in the middle of the night. Hi, Lori. She just signed on. Okay, let's see. Elaine, I see 111 and 1111 all the time recently, and I've been told that it means that spirit is with me. Yes, to some people, 111 can mean that you're not alone and you have like a spirit guide or a loved one that's with you. What does it feel like when you see 111? Is it something that comes up? Is it something that comes up around a time where you're having a rough time? Is it something that's coming up to give you reassurance for something? Think about that. Is it when is it happening when really good things are about to happen? Think about it after it happens. Okay, let's see. Do you use spirit guides? Christy asked that. I feel like when I give Reiki and energy healing, I feel as though there's like a Native American guide with me. But for some reason, I don't get stuck on which person's with me because I feel like they kind of shift in and out. There's different people that come. I just focus on my intuition, and then when I'm nudged, like it just pops in my mind at that moment. But we can talk more about that. You know, if you have any questions about getting in touch with your spirit guide. It's something that I'm going to put out a meditation for spirit guide because I've done that for my students. I give them a spirit guide meditation. So I may put that on my website soon. Brandy said, I always dream I'm flying. That's amazing. That's the best feeling too, when you leave your body and you feel so free. Okay. Christy said, that's good to know about fear dreams. Okay, I love this. So Serena mentioned the intention prayer. I'm going to give an example because a lot of people are asking about that. So if you have an intention where you want to get clear on a job and you want to know if you should leave your job, in my mind, I would write down, like I've written down for teaching, I am so grateful that I get clear and accurate signs. I get butterflies to show me that I am supposed to leave this job. And that's it. I write it down. I'm done with it. And then all of a sudden pops up when it's supposed to, if it's supposed to. So it's something simple as that. Karen said that was a great video with Oprah. Karen also said, I used to get vivid dreams all the time, some frightening and some great. I think I read that one. Okay, let's see. Marissa said, thank you so much. I was told recently that I need to learn to channel my spirit guide using automatic writing. What advice would you give to start beginning that practice? Marissa, oh my gosh, I have so much information about automatic writing that there's a video in the e-course that I talk about that too. The big thing that I can say, a quick version of it, but more detail there, is going to be to allow your mind to go on autopilot and just start writing and just see what comes out. And your writing actually looks different when you do that. Shannon said, thanks for sharing your gift. Do you have a routine during your readings as in asking spirit questions and waiting for their response? I find the more routine my readings are, the better they are. That's a good question. Sometimes I have, I say like a little intention prayer before I start. So I'll say, please give me accurate evidence for my client's divine timing and divine healing. And then I just go and see what comes to me. Sometimes I want to ask them questions. And some people put it in an order of how you ask them. But for me, it's usually what comes up and then how I'm led to ask them as they go. Marie said, I have an Indian chief and a gracious angel guide. Thanks for keeping the energy up. Love it. Okay, I want to answer your questions. Okay, perfect. So Marissa said, so if you don't meditate, how do you do readings? I actually do meditate, but I meditate a little bit different than maybe the normal psychic medium. I don't know. I don't know what's normal, but how I meditate is I do a walking meditation. I'll walk outside, be in nature, and that's how I meditate. Sometimes I'll sit for 5 minutes and meditate. I do want to continue to bring the meditation minutes up and maybe start with 5 minutes and then 10 minutes, but it's when it feels right. I'm really into moving around. As you can see, as I'm talking, I'm moving my hands. I think it's an Italian thing. I don't know. Okay. You are so fantastic. Does one's intuition wane as you get older? The 33 was on the time left to sign up for your course. Got it. Okay. I used to be drained with my energy. I had no clue why. I was walking into the world and I was so opened and I was so drained from everyone around me, and I would pick up on their emotions and I would think, I'm not sad. Why am I feeling this way? Or I'm not frustrated. Why am I feeling this way? And then I found out that I was an empath and I was taking on people's energy. And because I'm doing these intuition exercises that I share with you, and because I'm focusing that and using my energy to kind of push outwards, and I have those boundaries up that I talk about in the course, and I know I keep bringing up the course, but it's huge right now, then everything, I'm energized. I was never like this. I was exhausted. Okay. Has anyone else felt exhausted? Does anyone else feel this? Because I'm sure if you're in here, you're probably feeling very similar things. Yes. Okay. I absolutely love you guys. I love the energy that you brought to this group. I absolutely love it. I'm going to check my thing. And again, I'm putting the offer out there. The first 3 people that sign up for the course, you will receive a message from me, and you will a reading from me, and you will also, if you sign up by midnight tonight, you will receive the bonus intuition webinar with Susan and I, which is absolutely amazing. Okay. Anything else before we sign off? Anything else? I want to make sure I get to everyone. Okay. Marissa said, yes, I'm a nurse as well, and I feel my patient's energy. It happens. It really does. Any last questions before we go? Beth says, how do we get out of our own minds to trust and surrender? Oh, it just moved. Let's see. Oh, where did she go? Okay, I lost where it said it. But how do you get in trust and surrender? The big thing for me is when I trust and surrender, I say a little prayer and I breathe and I do it. I just allow. But the thing is, I make it sound so easy. It is, but you need to kind of build this up. So what you need to do is do intuition exercises, and you need to practice. And one of the things that I'm doing is I'm actually going to put up a photo in the e-course, and the photo is going to have energy, and you're going to pick up the energy on it, and you're going to give intuitive information and see what you can connect to and what you surrender to. Just like you did earlier today when I held up the pencil, immediately you didn't really think too much about it. You just first thought. That's exactly how it is. Kim said, will you be doing one-on-one mediumship? I do take on one-on-one mentoring. Right now, I'm not taking on too many people because of the e-course. But if you are interested, that's a separate thing. But right now, and then someone put, what about reading cards? I've done that over the years and find it helps. So about the mediumship one-on-one thing, it's something that I'm taking on a few people right now. I already have some students, but if you're interested, message me after. Yeah. So Beth said, I'm so imaginative, I feel like I'm making it up, adding to it or making it up. Yes. And that's why you need to practice and get some validation from other things, and practice and continue to get confirmation for yourself and keep a log, a journal of this. What about reading cards? So I don't read cards. I don't need cards. I have angel cards just for fun, but I get intuitive information that pops in my mind. But you can use the room to, I always teach people about reading the room around you for information, but also if you want to use cards, you can too. But you can use the streets around you, the houses, anything. Oh, the webinar on mediumship, Kim said. That's something that I could be doing in my future, definitely. Mama Char has been quiet in here. Is she still in here? There she is. How's everyone doing? I'm going to close up the webinar. I am so thankful for all of you. Please let me know if you have any questions. If you liked this webinar, I want you to share your feedback, share it on my Facebook page or whatever, wherever you want to share it. I know some people didn't get to attend because they live in a different country, and I'm thinking of possibly doing the same webinar probably next week. So I just wanted to put it out there. So remember your offer. You have it available to you. And thank you so much. I really, truly appreciate you. Thank you so much. And you will get your homework that you get sent to you. You don't need to do it for me. Do it for yourself and keep it with yourself. And you will get the replay for 72 hours. And I'll send that tomorrow. Hi, Mama Char. My daughter is very sensitive and works in the medical area. Recently, she asked me to journey with a patient, and she loved, was about to pass. I did, and he came to me as I left. I was stunned and did not know what or how to explain to my daughter. Works in the medical area. She asked me to journey with a patient. Okay, so, I wish I could understand that question a little bit more. He came to me as I left. Oh, so maybe he came after he passed. That's awesome if that happened. It's just sometimes they come just to let you know that they're okay, if that's the right question. Oh, thank you. Peace, love, Reiki. Be blessed. Beautiful gift. Thanks. Blessings, baby girl. Still here. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a great night, and thank you again. Bye.